All right, we're going to be investigating scatter plots using the graphing calculator. So today you're going to be able to enter in data into your graphing calculators and also make a scatter plot on that graphing calculator. Now, a scatter plot is a graph used to determine whether there's some sort of relationship between two different variables. It's a scattering of information, dots on a graph, basically. And a correlation will just show that is there a relationship between the two different sets of information. For instance, if you looked at weightlifting and the amount of weight versus reps that you can do, the more weight, it seems like it goes down. And there's going to be, on tomorrow's lesson, you're going to be talking about lines of best fit. And you can draw a line through it, an average of those dots. And you'll notice that this is definitely a negative slope. Thus, it tends to be called a negative correlation. The other one, if I drew a line average up these dots, and it should be a straight line, and an average of them, looks like it definitely goes in an upward trend, and that should make sense. The more time that you exercise, the more calories you burn. Now this one with library fines and the number of books borrowed, it's just a scattering. I don't know where my line can be drawn that would split these dots into a good, nice average, and so we would just say that there is no correlation. So with that information, we're going to be looking at the graphing calculators, and these are the main keys that you're going to have to try to get used to. Now when you look at the graphing calculator I'll show you, every time I hit a key on the graphing calculator, the key will light up in a red fashion so you can follow along quite easily. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to enter in data into our calculator. So in order to do that, we're going to have to find the Stat button, which is in the middle top section, Stat. And then we're going to Edit. And you'll see that there's information already in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear it out. So I'll highlight the L2 and hit Clear, and then you have to enter to perform that. And then I'll go over to L1 and hit Clear and hit Enter to clear that out. Now at this point, you just have to enter in the data in the table. So under L1, I'll put the X values. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, and 10. And then all you have to do is scroll over to the right, and it'll bring you up to the top of L2. And we will put in 20, 25, 35, back down to 25, 40, 45, 55, and 60. Now making sure that we end, if you have one column has too many numbers, it's going to be a mismatch dimension and you won't be able to do anything. So this is the most important step, is putting in your data correctly. Now we're going to follow these steps. In order to make a scatter plot, we're going to hit second and Y equals button. In other words, we're going to get to the stat plot, if you can read that in blue. So you hit the second one, that puts it in the blue function, and stat plot is the top left button. Now you'll notice that right now plot 1 is on. If it wasn't, I'd have to turn it on, and the others are off, and that's good. If these were on, I would have to turn those off. Now how you do that is simply by Enter and highlight what you want to perform, and since it's already on, I could hit Enter, it would turn it on, but if I wanted to turn it off, I just highlight off and then hit Enter. But like I said, I would like it to be on, so on and Enter. Now to do a scatter plot, we're going to want the first type. So this is going to be my scatter plot, so highlight that one and hit Enter. And then we want our X values to be in list 1 and my Y values to be in list 2, and then whatever type of marking you want on your graph, I always choose the first one. So to see our scatter plot, we're going to hit Zoom, and we're going to scroll down to number 9. Number 9 is Zoom Stat. What that does is it just zooms our information, our window, into the information, so our window will be the size of our information. Now you could also just hit 9 and it would go down to 9 Zoom Stat right away. And there's our data. It's a scatter plot. Definitely looks like it is in a positive direction. So to describe it, you would say positive correlation. All right, so our next one, we'll go to stat. We're going to have to edit. We're going to have to clear out our previous information. Enter in 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Enter in 7, 3, 0, and then negative. Let's make sure that you don't put a minus. -2 and -4. Describe the correlation. Well, then we just have to, we already had it on, so we don't have to go to, to look at it. We already had it ready to go. Plot 1 was on. So we'll look at it, we'll hit 9, and there's our information. And that is definitely a negative. All right, our last one, we will edit, clear out, enter, clear out, and enter. And we'll put this information in. So 1.5, 2, 3.5, 5, 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 10. Scroll to the right, oops, edit, and then scroll to the right, and then 380, 408, 482, 574, 679, 679, 708, 737, 108. And I'm just going to scroll up just to eyeball it, just to see if it looks like it's the right information. And then we're going to zoom into our stats, and this too is a positive correlation. All right, there's your teachings for today. Good luck with your activity.